welcome to Siren Soapbox. We have a very special episode for you today. Not only for the first time in recording history are all 5 sirens together. We are on site at a special location and have some special guests to interview. We are soapboxing tonight from the one and only world famous Bobby Mackey's Music World in Wilder, Kentucky. Let us know if you hear any disembodied voices come across your airways. Our challenge before this episode was to watch the Ghost Adventures episodes on Bobby Mackey's and to read Hell's Gate, Terror at Bobby Mackey's Music World by Doug Hensley. Our soapbox question is, do you believe in ghosts? If at any time the topic gets too intense, our safe word is... Mango! Did you hear that, ghosts? All things living and non-living, you too. Our safe word is mango. All right, first up on her soapbox is Myrrh.
To find out what the Sirens had to say during their soapboxes, go to www.sirensoapbox.com, click menu, hit podcast, and you'll see we're on most platforms. Click your favorite, and then you are going to scroll down to episode 36, Bobby Mackey's, and you can listen to the rest of the show there. We will be showing some highlights during our video section, but also make sure to check us out wherever you listen to podcasts. This recording was so special. All 5 sirens were together for the first time, and we had the honor of interviewing 3 guests at the same time. If you go to our page, click Our Friends, and then scroll down, you'll see that we had on the show Doug Hensley, author of Hell's Gate, and we also had on Rowland, who's a co-founder and investigator of Gatekeeper Paranormal, and we also had on Ritch Lawson. He was a witness to some paranormal activity.
So welcome to our podcast. Maybe we can start with Mr. Hensley and just maybe tell us what brought you to first write the book.
Well, first of all, I'd like to tell you something. I'm going to share something with you that I've never shared before. Years ago, when I first interviewed Carl, we spent many nights down here by ourselves, locked up. Carl talked about a demon woman in here and told me never ever mention her name until I did. And I said, well, who is it? And he made me promise. Well, he's passed away now, so this would be the first opportunity I made.
Oh, no!
You were all talking, some of you said you believe in demons. He said her name was Lilith. Anybody in this circle know who Lilith is?
I don't know Lilith.
Wasn't she before you?
Absolutely. She was Adam's first wife.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yes. And she is supposed to be one of the most powerful demons there is.
Oh, I remember.
You can research her, but I waited. I wasn't sure I wanted to say that tonight, but I believe that demon is still here. Janice started telling me about how she was thrown down the stairs. She was almost drowned in the sink. Back there, where you see those 3 windows back there, that was a kitchen. Okay, this used to have a hotel on the end of that upper lot. That was the kitchen where they fixed food. There were stairs that went down into the china room. Okay, so we did the exorcism. I didn't. The minister did. And there's things in that exorcism that Larry Kidwell cut it out. He didn't want anybody to see it. It was bad.
Wow.
There were 6 hours that I've got on YouTube in separate sections. But this Lilith name came up. He talked about there was just numerous entities of supposedly dead people.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick and let everyone know that she's going to turn some of the lights out.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want you to freak out.
All right, thank you.
If you want to feel something good, you have to invoke and you have to survive.
I'm going to try to do that.
What did you do?
I actually, you can ask that baby. I was his first show. And we sat right there, and I told him, if you want to see anything happen here, you have to make them mad. You have to make fun of them, call them names, insult them. So he did, and that's, if you watch the series, the show, you saw what happened.
Yeah, you did.
I guess I don't really know what I'm asking, but, what is considered provoking? So, do any of you come in here and provoke?
I spent, like I said, I told you I spent several nights here myself when I was writing the book. I didn't believe a lot of it, and my right hand to God, Carl Lawson and I sit right back there at a table. And I started provoking, calling them bad, foul names. Johanna, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you guys are real, do something. You're full of blah, blah, blah. There was a metal garbage can at each end of that bar, the double-sided bar. If Carl was alive, he'd tell you himself. One of the metal cans right over here went head over heels like this, all the way down, and smashed, you know how you smash a Coke can in your hand and put a wooden can? I promise you, it was smashed up like that. That gave me the willies. But then I knew that's what we had to do. Because I had spent several other nights in here and talked to them and nothing happened. Never saw anything, never heard anything. And I'm thinking, this is crap. You know,
My thought on provoking, people do it, but in my experience, nothing ever happens because the ghosts don't give a crap what you.
They're on their own schedule.
Yeah. And the people that have gotten scratched on my tours, honestly, have been the quiet ones. So I don't know which one of you is the quiet one.
Well,
but,
Mark.
I was thinking Jess.
but the other thing I
yeah.
wanted to say is, I know people do it, and you know, some people get a thrill out of it. But in my opinion, I mean, you wouldn't want somebody coming up to you now and screaming at you.
No, that's kind
So,
of how I feel about it. If
Why
they're real,
would you do it to the spirits? I mean, they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
Right.
Whether you yell at them or whether you ignore them, I find when we ignore them, they do more than when we're trying. You know, like when we're just sitting here talking, we're likely to have something happen rather than we're sitting here with all kinds of equipment, you know, wanting something to happen.
Have you experienced like tables or chairs or garbage cans or anything like that?
I wish.
You wish.
One of these days, I wish I would come in here and there'd be chairs stacked up on the table like poltergeist or something.
Did you guys hear that?
I know. Do
Come
it,
on,
please.
the Ritch. Yeah, I want to hear your story. The Ritch?
Yeah, Ritch.
And did you say your last name is Lawson?
No
Wasn't
relation.
that
No
Carl?
way.
Okay.
What a
All right.
coincidence.
I was worried about that. Okay, I want to hear your story. You said you were a skeptic, right?
Very much so. I was, as you said, you believe in God, and I'm a Southern Baptist. I was raised as a child Southern Baptist, and there is demons. The devil has the reign of this world right now because the devil was cast out of heaven. And when the rapture comes, he knows it's coming, and he will be locked in the bottomless pit. But I just know this is evil. What is here in this building is evil. It's the devil, demons. And I never believed in this. I would go to work on a Friday night, and they go, "Hey, you going to Mackey's and dance with that ghost?" I said, "Yeah, buddy, I'm going to dance that baby. I'm going to dance her all over the floor." My time here was country, friends, and dancing. That was
Until,
until
what happened?
I came in here on, it was a Friday night. I came in on a Friday night, and while I was in that bathroom, when I just tightened my collar clips, Montana collar clips, on my collar, making sure they were good and tight. As soon as Bobby got on that stage, baby, I'd go burn this floor up. And that's just that's where I am. I get a big high.
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, Johanna, I'm going to dance with you, baby." And man, that garbage can, bam, it took off. And I turned around like, "What's going on?" That bathroom got so intensely hot. It was like it is right now, humidity outside. But a lot
When I went in there.
but a lot worse than that. And I'm going, trying to gasp for breath. And I got to the hallway, and I just got weak.
Tell them what you saw in there.
Yeah, before that. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But in the mirror, I just turned around, and there stood this man. And I'm just dumbfounded, and I'm still trying to gasp for breath. And I just kept looking at this man, and I just kept hearing this statement to me: "Die game, die game." And I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I can't believe this. And it was an old time look, an old dress look, and it kept repeating that. And I'm like, I don't believe I'm seeing this. And the garbage can had beat up against the wall, and I had went to the hallway, and I just got weak and went out, passed out. I did not know nothing about the history of this, and when I did not want no money from Bobby. When I went to
Right.
court, nothing. The judge asked me, and even Bobby's attorney, Bob Lotz, was there, and he got up right into court and he said, Your Honor, he said Bobby Mackey is not responsible for any of the ghosts that are in his place. And the judge is looking like this, and looking at me, and he's looking at them, and the judge kind of ruled in Bobby's favor. And I copped an attitude. And they were going to give me contempt of court. I said, I don't care. I said, it's there, and I'm here for the public.
That's what Bobby had to sign.
The sign you put up, right?
And I mean, because I know it's here, and I'm really strong and hard on it.
So,
And-
I just want to break in really quick because we have listeners from all over, and you mentioned the sign out front. Does anybody know word for word what it says or have a picture?
He's not responsible.
Yeah, so we'll say exactly what the sign says.
All right, so the sign says, "Warning to our patrons. This establishment is reported to be haunted. Management is not responsible and cannot be held liable for any actions of any ghosts/spirits on the premises."
And to be clear, that is at least the second sign they put up, because it used to be handwritten.
Yes.
I remember
Nice
that
and
one.
printed.
The
So it's
original
like-
one was handwritten.
Yeah.
And it's a very large sign.
And in
It's a very
1897, Alonzo Walling, Scott Jackson, that's public hanging right down here in Newport.
Yeah, it's like.
And they were on the
like
gallows,
within
and there was
2
three
miles
people up
away,
there.
right?
There was 3 people up there. There was Alonzo, Scott Jackson, and a preacher. I looked just like the preacher.
Wait,
He brought
Well,
this
there
out.
was a preacher that was hung?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he wasn't hung.
He was hung. He was giving the last words.
Oh, all right,
And the
I
preacher,
see.
and Doug opened up his book and showed me his book, and it showed the preacher, and I looked just like the preacher.
You're his doppelganger?
And I'm like,
What was his name? He's not like a relative. of yours,
no.
is he?
You're talking 1897.
Well, it could be. Long
So,
lost.
Rich, does it make you uncomfortable to be here recounting this story?
Honestly, no, because I know where my heart's at, and I know that I'm secure. I'm my faith. I know I'm secure. But it's my responsibility that any opportunity that I get to tell people, to let them know and let them see, and maybe they can reevaluate themselves. That's my feeling.
I was the main skeptic, but what I did with the story was, when I wrote all these things out that everybody told me, I started going to the Covington, Kentucky Library and researching on microfilm. I researched for 2 years. 2 years. They said they saw a headless woman going through here, and they saw this guy with a handlebar mustache. Well, when I started researching, I find that there was a woman, Pearl Bryan, who was beheaded 2 miles from here, went straight that way, beheaded in 1896. They found her body in a field. The bloodhounds tracked the killers to this, somebody had mentioned slaughterhouse. This was a slaughterhouse.
I've heard a couple of times about the slaughterhouse, and Laura, you have done some investigation, and you don't believe there was ever a slaughterhouse on this premises. Is that true?
Yes.
So let's hear her side.
All right.
So, okay, back in the 1800s, this area along the Licking River was called Finchtown.
Okay.
They did have slaughterhouses, and in fact, there's some old hand-drawn maps that people have found, and there's one, it looks like way down on the southern end of the parking lot, there was a slaughterhouse, because they had a hotel in Finchtown, they had a couple slaughterhouses and a bunch of farms, like, on the other side of the road there. And so, there was a slaughterhouse down the road, not that far, actually probably right at the end of Bobby's property.
Okay.
So, in 1875, they started construction of a distillery, and it opened in 1876, and they made a whiskey called Old 76 whiskey, so they just called it the Old 76 Distillery. And the distillery, they actually got a permit, and this is on file somewhere in Campbell County, and they dug 3 tunnels out to the Licking River to pull water up from the river to make whiskey. So there's the one that's in the basement, there's one on the south side of the parking lot, and one on the north side of the parking lot. So they had some big machine or pump that they would use to pull water up to make whiskey. They were pulling like 250,000 gallons of water a day to make whiskey. Now they did pollute the river as well, because there is some, they call it hot slop, which is like a byproduct of making whiskey. So they did have cattle here and pigs that they would feed the mash to, the stuff they used to make whiskey. And then when the livestock didn't eat, they would drain out into the river, and it caused huge pollution problem in the river. Dead fish are popping up all over the place, and it became quite an issue. So I don't know if somehow that part of the story got twisted around as far as what they were polluting the river with.
And there was livestock on this property.
There was livestock on the property, and they were polluting the river with whiskey mash and slop. And so, yeah.
So I have another question for you.
Yes.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I like to call myself a skeptical believer because I've been here, this is our 8th year here doing tours, and I've seen things, I've heard things here that I cannot explain. This is probably my favorite recent story. This happened about, it's probably with COVID, it's probably been 2 years now since this happened. I had a tour group here, it was about 6 people. We had finished the tour and the history and all that, so usually what I do is I sit people out there in the bull room and we just, get some equipment out and investigate and everything. And we were sitting there and one of the girls thought she saw a shadow in that back corner over there where the pool tables are. And I said, well, let's me and you get up and walk over there to the opposite side of the room so we don't rush up on it. And, we'll see if we can talk to it and communicate and get something out of it. So we go over there. Now, I've kind of left this part out, but if there's ever pool balls, cue balls sitting out on the pool tables, I always set them on the edge of the pockets. For years and years I've been doing that, and I always ask them to push the balls in, and they never do, because, why should they do what I say? But, so anyway, we get up and we walk over to the other side of the room, and she's asking questions, trying to get a response and everything. And finally she says, could you push that pool ball in for me? And I swear to God, the ball fell in, rolled down to the end of the pool table. I lost my mind. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, did that just happen? I was freaking out because that was like one of the coolest things I think that's ever happened to me. I mean, I know it's not really a scary story, if that's what you were wanting, but it's absolutely amazing to me that not only did it happen on command.
Right.
Of course, it ticked me off a little bit because I've been asking them for years to do it, and they don't. And she comes in here one time, and they do it. But yeah, it was amazing because those are commercial slate pool tables.
Right.
You can't push on it and have a ball move. And besides that, there was absolutely nobody over there.
Right.
So, yeah, that's probably my favorite story. It's not especially scary. I've got scary ones too, but that one, as far as kind of paranormal proof, was amazing.
So when we're finished with some of this conversation and we go on a tour of this building, where's the hot spot? Where should we go?
I like the basement. The basement and the well room in particular is probably my favorite. Because when you're down in that well, you're in the old house that John Pop built after the distillery was torn down after Prohibition, or during Prohibition, I mean. He purchased this property and built a small house, and that house is still standing, and it was built over top of the well. In fact, when you go in the well, you'll see the flowered wallpaper on the walls. But anyway, where was I going with that? So in the house, like there's a window, there's a door, there's another door, so you're just exposed on all sides. And it always seems like when you're in there, like there's always something going on outside one of those windows or doors.
Okay.
I've had rocks thrown at me, I've had people get scratched.
Well, this has been a fascinating episode of Siren Soapbox. I've had a ton of fun. I'm so thankful that you guys joined us, Ritch, Doug, and Laura. I was thinking Linda, and I was like, that's not right.
Not Lilith.
Not Lilith.
No.
And the Sirens who joined us tonight are Sarah, Jess, TC, Elsie, and me. I'm Mer. The challenge for our listeners this week, we want to hear your ghost stories. Tell us some ghost stories and use the hashtag Siren Soapbox so that we know all about it. And until next time, dive in, stay curious, be happy. That's a wrap.
And we have an hour.
I guess the red light might be still over there.
Get your ghost supplies.
Where's your voice recorder?
Voice recorder is in my pocket. Still running.
This is a dive flashlight with like 80 settings, so. Oh, I forgot to pee.
You could have gone with TC.
Woo!
I'm gonna go pee
By yourself?
with this camera.
Whoa! Do it with the lights off.
No way. actually feeling a little scared to go to the bathroom by myself, Jack. Yeah. Oh, there, it's right here. I'm actually a little freaked out by this. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Will you stay in the bathroom with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm a little freaked out all of a sudden. For no real reason, I'm sure. We'll put that there while I pee, just in case. Thank you. Alright. Uh-oh, where did I put my phone? Oh, there it is. Is that the anniversary waltz?
What? Oh my God. What? What?
All right, is everybody coming?
The ghosts are
You look evil in that
Flashlights?
camera. I have one in my pocket.
Did you get, where's your, Chelsea, did you get your
You know-
special flashlight? You have
All the way
your-
down from in there where the
Where's
small
Bambino?
dressing rooms are.
You can leave it there.
The old party used to sit down there.
He's back there.
Coming?
There was a lady there.
He's back here waiting.
Oh really?
He's like, I'm here.
There
Ready,
was
Mark?
nobody there. Yep. They said there was a lady there.
Is it? No. Nobody's
Everybody wants to talk something in here.
I know.
We were locked in.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock the door so nobody can get in.
No, I couldn't drive.
Does he still deny? Does he still deny that this place is haunted?
I don't know.
denies
Who was
it.
I talking to on email? You?
Me.
I was so surprised when you said that Bobby was coming tonight. I'm like, because he never does paranormal interviews. Never.
I know.
He'll say, if they want to talk about music, I'll talk about music, but I don't want to talk
We
about
wanted him
ghosts.
to sing Johanna. So I talked
That-
to RJ on Friday and he said he was coming.
Well, I asked RJ this morning, and he's like, yeah, but he can't sing because of his throat. And then, like, an hour right before I was ready to leave, he's like, Bobby can't come because his throat's hurting him too bad.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Or they retired.
From real estate.
Yeah, real estate.
So is this the door that Zach Baggins entered for ghost hunters? Or I thought it was the
Yeah.
other side. For
This
some
is the only
reason,
door. Yeah.
I was assuming it
No,
was the
this
other
is-
side of the building.
It's a new door.
Oh shit. Camera fell.
Do you want lights on or off?
Off.
Spider crawls on me out. So y'all know. Spider crawls on me out. Ouch.
If the last person in could shut the door, please.
Uh-oh, what does that mean?
So,
That,
Looks like your battery's dying.
it's weird because I didn't give you my whole history spiel, but normally I tell people about the house that was built after they tore the distillery down. So they tore the distillery down, of course, once Prohibition hit in 19, and they tore the distillery down. A couple years later, a guy named John Pott purchased the property, and he built this house, which is still here. Hey, Doug,
Yeah.
why did they build this place like this? Why is that still here? Do you know?
you mean the piece of the
Bobby
house?
will not let anybody tear any of that down.
But no, long before Bobby. Back when they built the Primrose, why did they leave this house and build everything around it?
Oh, that I could not answer you.
Oh,
Maybe it was easier.
it's so weird though,
There's the
why they
well.
left it.
I think it's the,
But
I
I mean,
think
I'm
my
glad they
SD
did
card.
because that's history right there.
Did you see the face in the wall?
Where? What?
Right straight back there.
What do you mean?
There's a face in the wall.
No.
Which wall? In the room of faces?
In the slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
Right back there.
Oh yeah.
That's where they.
It's inside there.
That's where the well is.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go in there.
Oh, good.
Here, I'm
Shit,
looking
sorry.
through the window.
I think I only have 3 minutes left on my SD card.
Where's Dino?
I asked
When you walk through here, if you look
wanted to
through
use my GoPro.
bullet holes in the door,
I thought I had plenty of space.
we don't really know much about them. We're assuming they are from the mob days, and this was the primrose in the Latin Quarter. There's some there and there's some right there.
Where are they?
Right here, on the wall and the door.
Oh, yeah. Bullet holes. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna turn the light on in the well room for just a minute so you can see it, and then we'll turn it back off.
Okay. Why didn't you take pictures? Look at the bullet holes. You know people are murdered down here.
Did somebody say people were murdered down here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Is that the stairwell to
That's the stairs
nowhere?
To nowhere, yeah. That's actually the floor of the men's bathroom. So back in the Primrose and Latin Quarter days, when the club would get raided, because they frequently got raided by the feds for gambling, the bosses could open the trap door, run down the steps, and run out the back door.
So this is well.
Yep, that's the well. That's where the demons live. Why would they pick that? I don't know. I don't believe that. I just always say that's where the demons live.
Back there.
But this is the room, like I was saying, with the pink flowered wallpaper. So if you think about, this is the portal to hell, and this is where the demons live, but they like their flowers.
That is
on their
crazy.
walls. But this is where John Pop lived, and this was his living quarters.
Is someone back there? No. TC was.
And then that room
She
back
just came
there
out
is the
though.
jail cell.
Yeah. Why, did you hear
There
something?
used to be a big door with padlocks on it, and back in the mob days, that's where they would put people.
sounded like
Maybe they
Yeah.
had a gambling debt they didn't pay, or they got caught cheating.
back there.
Any number of reasons.
And I was like, is
Lots of
somebody still
things.
back there? And he was like, no, TC's not in there anymore.
Oh, Jess heard a thump.
From upstairs?
No, back here.
Back here somewhere.
Here, I was gonna turn off the light now.
Okay, where's Dean?
Where's Dean?
So this room, I've heard growling in this room.
In which room?
There's
This room that we're in
this
right
one.
now?
Yeah. This is the one I said.
Okay, friends, keep in mind Jess just heard something, and then we hear this laugh that we're unable to identify from anybody in our group. And then if you look at our live photo, we caught an orb and something run across Murr's camera, and we can't tell what it is. There's a shadow, and there's this purple electric ball. We'll slow it down so we can see in that top left-hand corner that orb coming out to the left at us, and then there's this purple mass on Murr's screen, and then beyond that you can see something moving in front of that camera.
He's not afraid of nothing. He's right down there at that well, right there where the stairs to nowhere. And I said, if you're so bad, go sit on them stairs. Well, there's nothing going on. And as soon as he sat on them stairs, you could hear the footprints on the stairs. He jumped off them stairs, and his back was clawed. He ran out of that back door so fast through the parking lot, you couldn't get shit.
That's what I would do.
That's actually the floor of the men's bathroom. So back in the Primrose and Latin Quarter days, when the club would get raided, because they frequently got raided by the feds for gambling, the bosses could open the trap door, run down the steps, and run out the back door.
So this is the well?
Yep, that's the well. That's where the demons live. Why would they pick there? I don't know. I don't believe that. I just always say that on tours.
Who else wants to look back there?
But this is the room, like I was saying, with the pink flowered wallpaper. So if you think about, this is the portal to hell, and this is where the demons live, but they like their flowers on their walls. But this is where John Pop lived, and this was his living quarters. And then that room back there is the jail cell. There used to be a big door with padlocks on it, and back in the mob days, that's where they would put people. Maybe they had a gambling debt they didn't pay, or they got caught cheating. Any number of reasons they would lock them in there.
Oh, Jess heard a thump.
From upstairs?
No, back here.
Back here somewhere. Here, I was gonna turn off the light now.
Okay, where's Steve? Where's
So this room, I put Rowling in this room. There's
this room that we're in right now?
Yeah. This is the one I said I like because you got a door there, you got a window there, you got a door here, and the jail cell back there. Everything is just creepy. But there's an entity down here that I call the shuffler, and he sounds like this. And sometimes you'll hear him out there or over there when you're in here. Or sometimes he'll just walk right up behind you and shuffle up behind
So
you.
should we all stand really still and turn all the lights off
Yep.
and see if we can hear anyone?
Okay,
Yeah, stay away from the door.
Great idea, TC.
Come away from the door.
I have been promised hands.
Okay.
Mark.
You gotta turn your light on.
Jesse's man hands.
Lights off.
Yeah, Mark's
Lights
man
off.
hand.
Stop. Who whistled?
Doug.
Quit whistling.
Who's down here with us tonight? Can you come say hi? There might be a couple people out there that you remember from a long time ago.
Oh, thanks.
You should go up and say hi to them.
Oh, thanks.
If you could just make a quick noise for us, we'd love it.
What was that?
That was somebody moving a chair.
Who?
I don't know.
No one moved a chair.
Did this one? Did you?
Who's in there?
Yeah, that goes over there.
Did one of you guys touch a chair out there?
I thought it was one.
All right, guys, we need you to stand really still and quit talking.
And don't breathe.
For real though, because every time you talk, I think it's something.
I'm smelling roses over here.
You're smelling beer.
How long are we going to stand like this waiting for a ghost to talk to us?
Not very long. I don't have the patience for that. I stand here for a while and then I start talking because usually when I start talking is when they'll start making noise. But it is good when you, when you do this to at least be quiet for a little bit when you first start because then you get used to all the noises.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't mistake them for something else. Do you have a black light?
Yeah.
Oh, come with me.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, I'll walk. Oh, okay, I'll go back.
You want? I'll go back.
All right, thanks. Once we get out, let's make sure Mark's still with us.
Yeah, we're supposed to tie belts to you before you go near the portal to hell, so we can pull you back in. What's that?
Battery's dying, I think.
No, I just turned it off.
Why is there a baby toy? And a car.
Tricycle. It's not a drawing, it's
Where's
just
the
like water
tricycle?
damage.
Is this where you're supposed to see a face on the wall?
Yeah, right there. It's Johanna.
Yeah. Looks
This is her
it looks
face,
like
her
a
hair, her body,
bearded.
her arm. It's kind of like she's going like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's
I
a
see her
couple more
boobies.
over here, right here.
Why is there a bunch of kids stuff in here?
Okay, well I have a story about that. The reason there's toys down here is because people have heard children's voices down here. So they like to bring, or they used to like to bring toys for the children's spirits that live here. Well, last week, actually, I had a tour down here and somebody asked that exact question. And I said, yeah, you know, people used to bring toys, but nobody has brought any in several years. And we were all standing here. I said that nobody's brought any in several years, and we all heard, sounded like a child, go, "Aww," like they were sad that nobody had brought toys. So I actually put it on our Facebook page, and I said, if anybody comes, you know, in the near future, if you have some kind of toy, bring it. So somebody brought that little kitty cat.
Oh, on the chair.
Somebody brought that little kitty cat for him. So hopefully they like that. But yeah, that's why there's toys, is because people have heard children's voices down here.
All right, should we be quiet and listen for a minute?
You want to try the spirit box?
Yeah. What's the spirit box? Oh, you do? Do you have it on you?
It's on the phone.
That's that
I do got one that
What's the
okay.
spirit
No
box?
whistling.
Who whistled?
I did.
No whistling.
I'm a whistler.
Ghost whistle too, so that's just... Will somebody explain to me what a spirit box is? Oh, it's a broken radio. What it does is it just scans really quickly all the radio stations, and it produces white noise. And every once in a while, you'll hear a radio station. You'll hear either a bit of a song or a person, like a DJ or something. But sometimes underneath that, you will hear another voice. And that's the one you want to listen for. You'll see what I mean when it starts. Oh, sorry. Is there anybody down here that wants to talk to us? My name's Laura. Can you tell me your name? Tammy? Did you say Tammy? We'd love to talk to you, Tammy. Can you come through again? Tammy, did you used to work here when it was the Latin Quarter? Don't leave us, Tammy. We want to talk to you. Is there anybody else here? Can you tell me the name of somebody in this room? I couldn't make that out. Can you tell me again? Do you know the name of somebody in this room?
Did you have to say Lauren?
Yes.
No, do not.
I actually thought I said
I
Laura.
thought so.
I said no.
Well, maybe it said Laura.
Is your name Lauren?
Yeah.
It did sound like one of us.
It
In a
sounded
way.
like a Laura or a Lauren
Um,
to me.
But the funny thing is, I feel like there's so many people. Oh, man, you're a whistler, aren't you?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you gotta stop that.
He does
freaks
have
me
these
out every
happy-
time.
I was doing this on a tour a couple weeks ago, and nothing was coming through. It was just constant shh, 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 shh. And I asked that question about a name of somebody in the group, and it was still just static for a couple minutes, and then all of a sudden, very clearly, it said, Chris. And the guy behind me is like, I'm leaving, because his name was Chris. And he did not like that at all.
It is 8:30. Where should we go next?
We can go out in the middle. Oh, actually, before we go, I want to show you a picture before we go out.
wear your laces. It's fantastic. Awesome. Ooh, and the threads on there too.
So I'm going to show you a picture that was taken September of 2019 in the basement where we're about to go. It was taken in the middle of the day.
Oh.
This lady's real. The guy behind her is not.
Oh.
Which one? This is not.
The
This
person.
is real.
That's a real person because you can see her skin, her face, but that is not.
Creeper.
Did you take that, or did someone who was on the tour?
Her friend took it, and Angie, my other tour guide, who's coming here at 9 o'clock, she was standing right next to her. She saw the picture immediately. So
Yeah, I'm assuming that was a car driving
It was.
outside.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And she saw it immediately, so it's not anything that's been doctored. And there's just, because it popped up, somebody got scratched on one of my tours.
Wow, it's 3 again.
Yeah, it's not always, though.
Oh.
Does it always burn that when it happens?
That one looks like just 2. Yeah, the one I got scratched once, mine was just 1, and I think it was a cat, because there's a ghost cat here.
What's his
You
name?
thought there was a good cat.
We just call him Smokey. I don't know.
Is that-
We don't know.
When they finally die, they're still gonna be with us?
How
Yeah.
come that one's got 10 lines? That's ridiculous.
So let's go out in the main part of the basement. This one was one of those in the baby one. It still has the Gilly sticker on it. Bottle heard it was for sale down in Texas, so he went down and bought it. And now it sits here. It was upstairs for a while. But now it's down here.
Oh, that's cool.
John Travolta's butt was on there. That's something.
Hey. Oh, it's just you cute.
Look at the Mr. Muscle Machine. Those are like antique
Yeah.
arcade.
It's a hell of a step to get up into that dressing room.
Part of our group. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Who is it?
She's a tour guide with Gatekeeper Paranormal.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Yeah, she's with me. She's not a stranger.
Gotcha. Not a stranger.
She's
And she has a head, so she's allowed.
Your name's not Lilith.
No.
And she has a head.
Heads are good. Are you whistling again?
Tails are better. Oh, I just now got your text.
Yeah, that would have freaked us out.
That's kind of creepy in there. Footsteps up there.
Thank you for letting me hold on to your shirt.
That's fine. Hey Laura,
Yeah.
what was this room? Was it a dressing room for
Yeah, all of these were dressing rooms.
for the showgirls?
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes in there we'll hear like whistling or not whistling because that would be him.
That would be him.
But like humming or singing. Sometimes it actually sounds like crying. But
And the Latin Quarter was confirmed at club, but Johanna
What's in this
is not confirmed.
correct.
Yeah,
Thank you for
in this
doing the
area.
research. Yeah, because the guy, what's his name? Ritch. Just told me there used to be an old car in here. Did you know that, Angie? There used to be a car in here.
An old car?
An old car.
What, in one of these bays?
No, he said it was
It's
right
in the
here.
book. He talks about it in the book. Because Carl Lawson, he was upstairs and the car was driving after him. That's when I texted all of you girls and said, what kind of drugs did Carl Lawson do? I'm like, come on now. What's in this room?
It's another dressing room, but it's full of crap. There's an old pinball machine in there, and so you can, if you know,
Bring spider out with your hair. Yeah, there's the things. It's like down here and upstairs in the main bar, but this corner back here, I had a really experience a few years ago. It's kind of odd, one I could never explain. It's hard to explain in detail other than just that door that's closed there. It swings open, so that's why they have the plywood leaning against it.
Well, they did until these girls moved out.
Which is fine. But during the bar, which Laura and I, we don't do the tours during the bar, when the bar's open. But this particular weekend, Bobby needed somebody to do a tour, and I volunteered, and we don't like to come down here into this basement alone, and not just because we're afraid of the dead. I'm more afraid of the living, and who had some, I had some experiences with live humans, so I didn't want to come down here by myself. Security wasn't able to come down here, so I had to come down anyway and get the bar, get the basement ready for the bar tours. And as soon as I opened up the front door, the basement door, I didn't even walk in, but I heard a noise down here at this end, at this corner on the right-hand side. And my eye just immediately went to that corner, and I swear, I know this sounds just so bizarre, but that door was closed. And I heard like a buzzing noise, and it looked like some sort of a black smoke or haze came out of that door, and it just kind of floated, or, it just looked shadowy, but it also looked like it had black things moving around in it. And it was still daylight out, like there was still enough light that was, coming in that I could see down here. And it's just so bizarre, like see these things, black things moving, and all of a sudden it just dissipated and went away. And
Crazy.
should we turn on the Spirit box again?
Sure, yeah. The weird one or mine?
Dina. Yours. Not Elsie's. Neither one of mine. I'm gonna scoot over here by Dino right now.
So where are we going?
This thing really freaks me out. Why don't we do by that door?
Well, Tim did work
What?
in the Latin Quarter. I don't know.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So you're talkative now. My name's Laura. Can you tell me your name?
How many of you are down here? It's like Carl.
Carl's here. That's what I heard.
I'm so dumb.
Woo!
It did kind of sound like
It did sound like that.
totally said Carl.
Carl, are you here? Did you like seeing Doug and Ritch?
It's a moth, that's why I put the collar on it.
No, is that you?
It's a moth that landed on her leg.
Oh, let's not do that.
I didn't do anything. She jumped because
Right.
the moth landed on her.
I thought it said spider.
Oh.
I would be out.
All right, is Carl? Carl's here. She said it
Again.
Yeah, I did.
Carl, were you happy to see Doug here?
Sound like he's hey, Doug.
So, to me, it sounded like "Hey man," but
That's what I thought I heard too. Did Doug leave? Yeah. What was that?
I didn't understand. I wish I could like rewind.
Can you reach out and touch one of us?
No.
Tug on our shirt. Nope. Just let us know you're here.
Is Carl here? Where's Carl?
Sound like you said again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Carl, you're not usually down here in the basement. What are you doing down here?
Sounded like Elsie's voice. Sounded like you.
Come on, make a really loud noise for us next to us. Let us know you're here.
Where's Lauren? Who's Lauren? Okay.
Here.
I heard it again. It was either Laura or Lauren.
That was totally Laura.
It was close.
Talking to you.
Is Laura your friend? Do you see her a lot?
Was Bobby here earlier?
I don't understand that.
Sounded like, hey, babe.
This sounds like when I hit the scan on my radio.
It is what
It
it's
is.
doing.
Yeah.
And out here, I think because Cincinnati's literally right there. So we get a lot of interference compared to when we're in the back, when we're kind of underground and with all the concrete around us, it's not as bad. Back there.
Reach out and touch somebody
So this is the same spot where Zach Baggins saw that apparition back in the corner, right?
That would have been right here. There was a refrigerator that was there at the time, and he saw it moving.
And it was the same one that they got a picture of, it looked like,
Yes.
about a week ago.
Yes. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, it looked like, when I watched that video, obviously, it looked like the same one.
If you look at it, it's all from like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I was noticing.
A lot of it is union stuff, like this is the Steelworkers Union. Most all of it is from the Steelworkers Union.
Huh.
Which makes you wonder, because this was a mob-owned club, right?
Yeah.
And all their paperwork, all those boxes that are on top of that shelf right there,
Yeah.
that's all
Bank
union stuff.
ledgers.
Now
and-
that's stuff I would like to go through.
Oh, it's and you know what's fascinating is the condition that it's in.
Yeah.
I mean, from having been down here for like 60 years,
Certainly smells like moldy.
it does smell
Why
moldy.
is that paper got?
I
I've
know.
always made the joke Jimmy Hoffa is kind of like buried in the well.
Yeah,
you know?
Jimmy Hoffa. That's a really well.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
What?
I doubt he was in this position.
Oh, God, I don't want to think
Oh, to the children?
What's that?
Yeah, Mark, did you catch an apparition?
No.
I bet you
Not
had
that I
one
know
job
of.
to do. One job.
We hope that you enjoyed this video of the Siren Soapbox exploring Bobby Mackey's music world. We did have other cameras set up throughout the night. The only thing that we caught in the bathroom, it went off a couple times throughout the night. But by far the scariest thing all night long was just how bad Bill's aim is.